Well, guess what? I have a contract. I run a business. So I run a business in America. So don't I have to do paperwork?
That's right.
IRS? Don't I have to pay my brothers, give them a 1099? Where do I get the 1099 from?
Bring
the
it up.
white man.
W-2.
Where do I pay my taxes?
Y'all relying on the white man.
I'm not relying on him. God told me he's my whip. He's
right.
going to whoop my until I repent.
Do we rely on the white man?
No, I didn't say rely on him. Do you think I rely on him? No, I don't rely on him because who works? Who works? Does he work? Does he work for me? Does he pay my bills?
It seems like we work for him.
No, because we're slaves.
What club was that at?
Admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just didn't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
What's something that you do that you know is bad?
Lie.
Lie. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's get that. Let's get that. Do Exodus. What about you? What's something that you know you do that's bad? Besides lie, you gotta give me something different.
I can't really think of that.
Okay, what about Christmas? You celebrate Christmas?
Oh.
Okay, what about you? Do you tell your mama Happy Mother's Day? Okay, so watch, let's find out if those things are bad. Watch this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
So if I tell you Santa Claus is gonna come to your house, or if you take out your, you know you lost a tooth, right? I'm like, man, put your tooth under your pillow, and Tooth Fairy coming. Tooth Fairy ain't no damn real.
Right.
You know who takes your tooth? Your mama. Your mama and your daddy take the tooth, and they throw it in the trash, they throw it outside, and then they put a $20 bill underneath. That's a lie, so I shouldn't tell you that Tooth Fairy is real, right? Because then I'm gonna get mad. What do parents do? Don't they get mad at you if you lie? But then they lie to you about the Tooth Fairy.
Bring it out.
So you know what that's called? That's called hypocrisy. That's why we get mad at them. That's why we end up being rebellious to them. Because they're liars and they telling us not to lie. Right. So man, my mama a damn liar, man. I'm going with my homeboys. I'm gonna go over here and do what I want. Because she's a damn liar, so I wanna be a liar. You gotta learn to be a righteous person, right? But guess who you gotta be around?
Righteous people.
Righteous people. Right. That's good. So that's why we got the flyers. You guys all got a flyer, right? The flyer, we have a school right around the street, like 30 minutes. When we get a school in Fayetteville, y'all gonna be able to go to the school for free.
Right.
Now you're gonna learn anything you want, right? Especially history. We teach a lot of history. But you're gonna get there, we're gonna have food for y'all, you're gonna be able to hang out with us. And we have our children there. Like I have a 7-year-old, right? These brothers right here have kids too, daughters, and they all wear dresses. So if they all wear dresses and they look at you and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give you my dress, and then they give you a dress, right? Y'all gonna be in the same mind. That's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Right.
You're not the little girls that we have, our girls, they don't talk about boyfriends, so they're not gonna tell you, oh, I think you should date little John in 4th period. They're not gonna tell you that. So that's what we want. We want our communities to be fixed, right?
Right.
But it starts off with being able to see ourselves in the Bible. How you doing, sis? It starts off with helping our community. Now you the oldest. What about you? How old are you?
27.
Oh, you the oldest. So he's the second. So we got 27, 24. How old are you? 11, 9. How old are you? 8. 6. All right, man, you the youngest. Now we gotta watch out for the youngest, because Satan likes to come get that 1 Peter's. He likes to come like a roaring lion. Now, now think about it. When you see a lion, right?
Yeah.
When you see a lion, who does the lion attack first? The smallest, right? You see the little gazelle, and he coming for you. So let's see what God says about the lion.
The book of 1 Peter,
5 and 8 or something.
chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
So you want to write this down, my brother? You're 27. 1 Peter 5 and 8, right? So why does it say that Satan comes like a roaring lion? Meaning he's trying to attack our children.
Right.
So how does the society attack our kids? You ever seen that stupid little dance that they be doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like how they do that stupid little dance. Come on, man. Come on. They be doing it on a Fortnite. Give me a Fortnite dance. Yeah, come on. No, do one for me. Do one for me, because I know I can't. There we go. Look at that. You see that? I can't do it. You want to know why? Because back in my day, we didn't dance like that.
Right.
We didn't look like we stepping on roaches.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all be doing some funny dances. Now we got some funny dances too. We had the Roy out there. You know what I'm saying? We had Superman. Some crazy stuff. Soldier Boy back in the day, back in the hype stuff, right? Now, give me another dance that they do. There's another dance that I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, there we go. Do it real quick. What's it called?
On Justice.
Can you do it one more time? Because I want them to see it. You see how he's doing that dance? Huh? Now watch this. He's doing the dance, right? He's doing the dance, but all our kids do the dance.
Right.
But where do they learn that from? They learn it from Fortnite. They learn it from certain TV shows, right? But then you don't learn Christ is Black on those TV shows, right? You don't learn that you're not supposed to wear pants on those TV shows, right?
Bring it out.
Did you ever learn on the TV shows that women are not supposed to wear pants? No, they don't tell you that. They have women with their boobs out on the shows. They got women showing, Nicki Minaj showing her butt, Cardi B. So now you got to think about it. You'll be like, yo, they are trying to trick our children, right?
Right.
So they go after him. So let's read that part one more time.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour.
Hey, how you doing, sis? I'm glad you're coming. So we dealing with the children, right? God says that Satan comes for our children.
Right.
He's coming for the weakest link. Now, when it comes down to a family, and I want to get more personal with you ladies, because you 9. And how old are you, sis? 27, all right? Still young, right? So at 27 and 9 years old, guess what the Bible says? It says Satan comes for the weak. Now, my brother, I got a question. Who's the weaker vessel, the woman or the man? All right, so let's get 2 Corinthians 11:3. Now watch this. My sister, what color is Christ? Black. All right? Do you know that they give this to all our black women in slavery? They gave this to our black women, right? The white Jesus, they used to whip us and teach us that Jesus is white, right? So watch what the Bible says that Satan did. Let's see what Satan did. Now, Satan is a spiritual person, right? A spiritual demon, but he also has children on the earth that worship him.
Right.
So there's people on the earth that they say, you know what? If I kill a lot of black people, then Satan is going to be happy. So now these children don't like us. Our children are supposed to be righteous.
Right.
So there's going to be a battle between righteousness and darkness. So you got to think about in the world, what two races always be fighting?
Bring it out.
Blacks and whites, right? They be fighting. Why they be fighting? Let's see what God says.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. Read. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his...
The serpent beguiled who? Eve. So look, you're Eve, and she's Eve. Eve was black because Adam came from the dust of the ground.
Right.
And she was a rib. She was of man. So if Adam was black because he came from the dust of the ground, which is the soil, what color is the soil? Brown, right? So if Adam was brown, what color was Eve? Brown, right? So you two brown sisters, right? Y'all are Eve. Now watch what God says again. Read that part again.
As the serpent beguiled Eve.
The serpent always comes for the woman.
Right.
You want to know how I know? Because both women, different ages, are wearing what? What y'all wearing?
Leggings.
Leggings, right? Pants. Sure, she got like sweatpants. But pants. Pants was something that the white man put in the black community,
right,
so that the black woman don't want to listen to the man. Because I want to show you something. Watch this. Y'all together? Okay. If I say who got the pants in that marriage, right? No, you gonna point to you. But technically, physically, who got the pants? Look, both of y'all.
Both of y'all.
So really, there's a spiritual fight in your house, because when you at your house, your wife is not supposed to wear physical pants, because physically, if you put on a dress, what kind of spirit would you have? Effeminate. So when a woman puts on pants, she doesn't know that she's unlocking that demon to become a man.
Right.
And the white man knows that though, because you ever heard in slavery, like you see this picture right here? See this picture? My little sister right here, they're 9 years old, right? You see this picture? This happened on Christmas. They whooped him like this on Christmas. So they beat him. He was called Whipping Peter.
Bring it out.
Google him. So they beat him, and we want to celebrate Christmas. But they used to beat us like this on Christmas. They used to grab our children and put them as presents and give them to Master Charles next door in Virginia. So they would take us from Fayetteville, North Carolina. They would ship our children. Him, 6 years old. We all love him. We all know him in the community. And this is the plantation. And they grab him from his mom and they take him. What do you think we're going to do? We're going to cry. we're going to be sad because they just took our little brother, right? So we got to understand those things so that we understand why our women do what they do. Because it's not an attack, sis. We want you to fix your spirit, because once you start wearing a dress, you're going to start acting more female. Because you ever see World Star? Who's seen World Star? You ever seen World Star? All right, don't watch it. World Star is a place where they put bad videos, right? Beating up people, twerking. All right, women ain't supposed to be twerking.
Right.
All women are supposed to be getting married. But what happens is when you wear pants, America has taught our women to twerk with them pants. Instead of our women getting dog scent, you ever seen Martin Luther King, Malcolm X? All right, back then our women used to get their water hose sicked on both of them, right? So let's say y'all were fighting for your rights, right? That's your son? Okay, so boom, y'all are marching down the street with Martin Luther King. They used to grab a water hose and they would spray both of y'all down, right? After that, they said, you know what, the black woman, hey man, because if you ever look at the pictures of black women at that time, they all wore dresses. They were modest.
Bring it out.
So then when they said, you know what, how do we destroy the woman and make her not want to be around you? Well, let's give her Section 8. Let's give her EBT. Let's make her wear pants, because she wears pants. Now she want to be the man in the house. And then now y'all gonna separate. And then now she's not gonna fight with you for your rights.
Bring it out.
She trying to get rights for her damn self. She want that $500 from EBT.
That's right.
She trying to do that. But she want to get that Section 8 at that house that's paid off by the government. But guess what? It says no black men allowed. Damn. So she wanted to make sure she get a house for her son. So now she gonna say you not good. Now, I'm not saying she's gonna do that, but I'm just saying that's what our women do. But that's because America has tricked them so bad that I got a question. You wear jeans? When you wear jeans, you have a zipper, right?
Yeah.
Most jeans have zippers, right? You ever had jeans? You had a pair of jeans, little boy? You ever had jeans? Right? You guys have zippers, right? What do you pull out to use the bathroom on a zipper? Nothing, right? You don't pull nothing out, because zippers was created for men to release themselves to go pee. Because that's what pants were for. Pants are for men. Now women have pants with zippers, and I'm like, what do you pull out? You don't pull nothing out because pants weren't created for you. Right. All right, so we're going to read in the Bible. We're going to read in the Bible so you guys understand. Exodus 28, let's get 41. Now we're going to, my little brother, we're going to find out who's supposed to wear pants. Let's see if girls are supposed to wear pants or boys are supposed to wear pants. Watch this. Who do you think is supposed to wear pants?
Boys.
Boys, watch this.
The book of Exodus, chapter 28, verse 41. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother and his sons with him.
You see, it says Aaron, thy brother, and his sons. So that's your son. So pretend you're Aaron, that's your son. Read.
And shall anoint them and consecrate them and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office.
And what are they supposed to have?
And thou shalt make them linen breeches.
Breeches. You ever heard pull your breeches up? Yeah, man. Black people and Hispanic people, we say that. We know that the breeches means your damn pants.
Right.
So God says Aaron and his children had pants.
Right.
Because what did we have when we got out of Egypt? I know you've seen pictures of, what is it, Nefertiti? I can't never say her name. Nefertiti. Look, I'm going to say it wrong every time. It sounds horrible when I say it.
Nefertiti.
You say it, yeah.
Nefertiti.
There we go. You know I didn't study no Egyptology. They told me I was a wetback. I didn't go to no damn Egyptology.
Bring it out.
But what's she wearing in her pictures? Yeah, she got a skirt, because Egyptians wore skirts, right?
Right.
So the men wore skirts. The Egyptians wore skirts, right? So when Moses took us out of Egypt, what did he tell a man to put on? Damn pants.
That's right.
He left you with the skirt. Says you all right. You can wear a skirt. You can look nice. You can look like a princess. Ain't nothing wrong looking like a princess. You like looking like a princess. Right. Watch this. When you get married, what you gonna wear? There you go. But you can wear a dress every day. You can look beautiful every day. My wife wears a dress every day.
Bring it out.
But guess what? When she was 25, 24, before she learned, 23, 22, when she was at Fayetteville State, when she was in high school, she wore leggings too. But guess what? If we can change, y'all can change.
That's right.
Like me, I used to have girlfriends. You ever had a girlfriend? You ever had a girlfriend? You ever had a girlfriend? Shame. You had a girlfriend. God said don't have girlfriends. If I can change and get a wife, then you can wait to get a wife.
Right.
You can find a wife. You already got one. Right? But you guys married?
Not legally through the white man.
Okay. Hebrews 13:4. I want to show you. Now watch this. It's simple to marry your rib. You want to know why? She's supposed to be called your rib. She's supposed to call you Lord, as it says it in Peter's. She's supposed to see you as Christ. She's supposed to know that you're her protector. Right. You're going to die for her just like Christ died for the church.
That's right.
So she's going to honor being able to call you Lord, because Lord is like you're her redeemer. You're the head of the house, right? But a lot of our women won't call us Lord, right? Now I know when I be at Walmart, my wife be like, "My Lord, you want these tomatoes? And white people be like, huh? What the hell? Why is this Mexican getting called Lord? You know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful thing, because if you see a black woman calling a Mexican Lord, you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Hey, why you got the little dangling things on your shirt? See how I got the little dangling things on my shirt? Y'all going to see me at Walmart, y'all going to be like, hey man, what's that? I'm like, hey man, this is our heritage. Right. Now I got to give you a flyer. Right. See how she got a flyer? I would have gave you a flyer at Walmart. I would have been like, marry your girl, marry your sister. Right. That's your son, he a king. Right. I would have been able to do that, but it has to be me being a light. Because if I just look like a regular Mexican in the damn shop, right? I'm smoking weed, I'm chilling, you're gonna think that I'm a righteous brother? Hell nah, because I look like a horrible tree. You see them trees that are dead without leaves? That's what our people look like in the neighborhood.
Bring it out.
But if you see a tree full of apples and orange and things like that, which means they're keeping God's commandments, you want to go over there and learn what to eat. You go like in the garden. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get to become righteous trees so that people want to come and learn from what we're teaching. So that's why when y'all saw us, y'all were like, look at these brothers, they in order. They got the same pants. Look at the purple. I like the purple, right? And y'all want to learn. That's a beautiful thing. Read that.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
So what does it say about you and her?
Marriage is honorable.
Marriage is honorable.
And the bed undefiled.
Whatever you do with your wife, that's between you and her.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So that's boyfriend and girlfriends. God says if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, God will judge you. So real quick, he's asking good questions?
Yeah, that's what the Fringes was.
Okay, Fringe, hey, let's deal with Fringes. Right before marriage, because he's young. So we don't want to lose his train of thought, right? Because our children, we need them to like this truth, right? Let's give them Fringes. Watch this. This is the answer to your question. Numbers 15:38.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
So you're a child of Israel, right? Read.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Now show him. You can step up. Show him. There you go. Fringes in the borders of the garment.
Throughout their generations.
That means forever. You got to wear that on your clothes.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
What color is that, little man? What color is that?
Right there.
No, right there. Blue, right? Just like your jacket, right? So he got a ribbon of blue, read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it.
So can you look upon his fringe? My little man. Can you look upon his clothes? Can you look upon the fringe? Right? Can you see it? Watch this. So God says, look at it.
And remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So you're supposed to look at this and say, I can't celebrate Christmas. I can't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Bring it out.
I can't eat pork. I can't disrespect my father and my mother.
That's right.
I can't steal. I can't kill. This is supposed to be a sign of keeping God's commandments.
Bring it out.
So when you see that on your brothers, you know that we want to keep God's commandments, right?
That's right.
So now you know you're in the right place, because we out here trying to show you how to be righteous, right? So now going back to the marriage, because we got to deal with marriage. Raise your hand if your parents are married. My parents ain't married. They divorced. Nobody's parents is married, right? Now watch this. That's horrible. Why is that horrible? Let's read it again. Hebrews 13:4.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 4. Read. Marriage is honorable in all.
So what happens is we don't have marriage in our communities, right? Nobody raised our hands. None of us raised our hands. You want to know why? Because America has destroyed the black household.
Right.
The marriage that we used to have.
Bring it out.
Jumping the broom? You seen the slaves? They used to jump the broom?
How do y'all feel about adding the white man to the covenant with you, your woman, and God?
Adding him to the covenant? Obadiah. Now, every time we add white people, it's not just white people, Chinese people, Arabs, and we add another nation, right? What happens when we add other nations? Matter of fact, 1 Kings 11. Because Solomon had a lot of different women, right? From different races, right? So he was adding...
that's not what I'm asking.
No, I'm just giving you an example. I got you. To the covenant of Christ. I got you. But I'm asking you, when you bring another race that does not believe in the black Messiah, right?
I'm not talking about dealing with strange flesh. I'm talking about getting a contract with the white man to marry your queen.
Oh, you're talking about... Okay, no. That's good. Tobit, let's get that. Now...
I know the Tobit, that's because the dude, the prior fiancés kept dying, so the father was just trying to do like a security clause. But
I got you.
I don't read where God tell us to make a covenant with his enemy.
It's not a covenant. Look, whenever you have the laws of the land, right? Laws of the land means you can't have polygamy. Because in America, you can't have polygamy, right? So you shouldn't try to add more women to your wife, right? So when you read the scriptures, Christ told us we're supposed to have one wife. A lot of us in the Bible, we didn't have one wife. When you go through the history, right, we have multiple wives, right? It says, one of the laws in Deuteronomy says, a king should not multiply wives to himself, right?
That's not my question.
No, I got you, my brother. I'm trying to get to you. I have to give you a couple basic points before we get to the answer, right? So when it comes down to going into marrying your wife, you're in captivity, aren't you? Okay, so how would I know that she's your wife?
Bring it out.
God knows.
No, I don't talk to God. I can't talk to him. So I want to know, how would I know that you're married to her?
I tell you.
Okay, you tell me. But besides that, how would I know? Like, if I didn't talk to you.
How would I know you're married? You don't have a ring on.
I got you, because ring is a Roman custom. That's why I don't wear it. But I could show you paperwork. Because
white man.
No, it's not through the white man. Give me that. Read that. And give me the one in Sirach that talks about everything in writing. I got you.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7 and verse 14. And he called Adnah his wife and took paper and did write an instrument of covenant and sealed it.
So that's what you're talking about, paper with covenant, right?
But
you're thinking that it's a covenant between. I got you. Listen to the point, man.
Because we the teachers. Because I don't mean to cut you off, but like I watch y'all a lot in a lot of other camps, and my spirit is like, a lot of y'all got the truth, but a lot of y'all got warped.
No. And like I said, there's only one Christ, one faith, one baptism.
That's it.
So when you read the Bible, you can't give me nobody in the Bible that didn't have paperwork that was righteous. Everybody that was righteous, yes, they all had paper. Even in Rome, when we were under the Romans, we had to get married with our wives.
Right.
Who do you think we got the paperwork from?
I'm saying I don't read in the Bible where God said you must go add my enemy for his enemy into
I got you. You wanted to specifically say that. You wanted specifically to say that. So Deuteronomy 28 and verse 48. I'm gonna give you that verse.
I understand all.
Hold up, bro. You can't ask the question.
Supposed to get married.
You're gonna get it that way. You have to get it that way. If you don't get it that way, then you're not doing what God said. You're rebellious. Watch what it says.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore,
read verse 47 for my brother.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
So when we weren't slaves, we could just marry our women without paperwork from white people, right? Chinese people, Arabs, Philistines. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. So watch this. I'm gonna show you now. My brother, real quick, 27, you're the oldest. Be an example to them. Don't talk no more until I'm done with the point. Now watch this. You're 24. You're almost his age. Hold on 1 second. I want to deal with the question. I'm gonna get the. Yes, I do got the question. Read the scripture.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So who sent the white man against us? In 2025, we got the white man over us in America, right? Who sent them? God.
That's right. In hunger and in thirst.
So if I want to go to McDonald's, who owns McDonald's? If I want to go to Walmart, who owns Walmart?
Right.
So if I don't want to get the paperwork for my marriage, then don't go to Walmart.
Right.
Don't go to Food Line.
That's right.
Don't get water.
That's
don't
right.
get PWC.
Bring
don't live in none of these damn houses.
That's right.
But we live in those houses, and then we don't want to get the paperwork for our marriage.
Bring it
Think about it. Our minds is destroyed. That's called rebellion, my brother. Read.
And in thirst, and in nakedness,
go ahead.
and in want of all things.
Hold on. And what?
In want of all things.
So if I want a passport to go teach my people in Mexico, what I got to do?
In want of all things.
Don't I got to get a passport from the white people?
Right. Yes.
In order to leave America, I can't leave America by just walking around the border.
Bring it out.
I can't fly to Africa.
Don't that contradict your whole message?
No, it doesn't contradict, because God says you're here as a punishment.
Think about what you just said.
No, sir.
You said in one for all things.
One for everything, yes.
Indeed, and I agree, because you see
how does it contradict then?
Listen though, because I don't think you understand it, bro. This is very sentimental to me, bro. I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. I understand it, one for all things, nakedness, clothes, and all that.
And
if that's the case, don't that contradict the whole message of keeping the laws, because we're in captivity?
No, keeping the laws means you gotta do what God said in the Bible.
That's right.
So God said you're gonna have to go for them for all things. So oh my God, you just said it. Read it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42, verse 7.
Read.
Deliver all things in number and weight, and put all in writing, that thou givest out or receiveth in.
So guess what? I have a contract. I run a business. So I run a business in America. So don't I have to do paperwork?
That's right.
IRS? Don't I have to pay my brothers, give them a 1099? Where do I get the 1099 from?
Bring
the
it up.
white man.
W-2.
Where do I pay my taxes?
Y'all relying on the white man.
I'm not relying on him. God told me he's my whip. He's going to whoop my ass until I repent.
Do we rely on the white man?
No, I didn't say rely on him. Do you think I rely on him? No, I don't rely on him, because who works? Who works? Does he work? Does he work for me? Does he pay my bills?
It seems like we work for him.
No, because we're slaves.
Okay, so that's my point.
But it doesn't contradict because God told you he was going to make you do it.
If God say his enemies create a tumult in Psalm 83,
Yes.
and this his enemies.
That's his
They
enemies.
against
Yep.
us.
Yes, sir.
So will we not go against the shit they telling us to do?
Marriage is
Listen to
not against God, though. If they tell you, hoe out your sister, yes, I'm not going to listen to the white man.
Right.
But if the
Tell
white
me to
man...
add him to my covenant with God.
No, he didn't add him because it's paperwork. It's just showing the whole planet
But once
that you're
that
married
paperwork
to that
signed,
woman.
they got to do with everything we got going on.
No, they don't.
Yes,
because-
they do.
No, they don't, my brother. Man, I don't know who taught you business.
When you
and all
get a
those
marriage,
things.
when you get a marriage license,
I got you.
what happened with your tax break, you and your wife?
I could do it together or I could separate it.
But what happens to it though?
What do you mean?
When you do it together?
What are you trying to get me to say?
I'm asking you, when you and your wife file together, what happens?
My wife don't work, so I just file for myself because I'm a man of my house, and
I
she
feel
don't
like
have
you're
to
not
work.
trying to edify me, bro. And I'm really like, my spirit is bothered right now because I'm really trying
But
to
you
get
have
an
to
answer.
ask the question that I'm thinking you're saying. Now, you tell me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking you're saying that you don't want to sign the paperwork because it's a white man's paperwork.
Yes.
Okay, I just gave you Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. What did God say you were going to have to do?
But if you use all things and put that in that bracket, you see how dangerous that could be? Because you could put anything with all things.
No, but you have to have wisdom. You can't just make up shit. You gotta say, okay,
That's what y'all doing.
No, I didn't. I didn't make up nothing. Because it says wants of all things. It give you lists. It said food, right? So if I want to go, let's say I don't have money, and I could go sign for an EBT, right, card. I gotta go fill out some paperwork to get that EBT card.
Right.
So you still gotta make a covenant with the white man to get the EBT card.
my point.
But I'm saying now, give me the Bible says use the word without and don't abuse it. I want to show you. So now I'm gonna try to give you a scripture that maybe might help that thought
I'm not
process.
trying to combat you.
No, I'm not thinking that.
Seem like I'm,
No.
Like,
I don't feel that way. Even if we get hyped, like you get hyped, I don't take it as disrespect. Trust me. I don't look at you. Y'all look at you as my brother. You have a serious question. You're sincere about it. You're like, yo, I don't think you got me. It's fine. I'm not gonna look at you and be like, yo, oh, he a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I'm like, yo, that's my brother. That's my brother. That's how I see you, right? Watch this.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 31.
Watch this.
And they use the world as not abusing it, for the fashions of this world passeth away.
So everything gonna pass away. One day we're not gonna have to have a contract with anything. EBT, food, passports, marriage license. We're not gonna need the other nations because Christ is coming to redeem us, right? But the question that you're saying is, why do we do it? Like, I'm just gonna tell you why we do it. We do it.
I would ask if y'all do it. I
Yeah.
was just saying in general. I
got
don't know
you.
what y'all do. Like,
But the reason we do it is because it's biblical. Because God said we are in curses and we're gonna have to go to them for one of all things. Now, I'm not gonna even listen to my mom if she tells me to go celebrate Christmas with her. So why would I listen to a white man if he tells me, hey, you gotta do this and it's against God? When they tell us we have to get paperwork for our marriage, right, or EBT or contract for LLC, when I go in the Bible, I don't see nothing that's a sin behind it, right? It's not sin to get married with my wife. So if I gotta pay $100 so that it can be legit in America, so that you guys, let's say, or if I want to start a business with my wife, they'd be like, oh, okay, you can put that under her name. Because if you pass away, you want to give her an inheritance. In America, you can't give your wife no inheritance if y'all not married. You know what I'm saying? She don't get nothing that you get. Now the Bible, I know you read the Bible, we used to leave inheritance to our family. It was a law. So how can you leave her an inheritance if you don't make that contract like you thinking with that white man? It's not a real contract with him. It's you're only using the world so that you can still keep those commandments that you're destined to keep, which is leave stuff for your children. Because you got a child.
that's kind of scary though, man.
I got you. I know, I understand what you're coming from, but I'm just saying, as long as it's not sin, you can't. The Bible says
I like what
don't
you're saying.
confound yourself. What's it called? Don't think that you're in sin.
Yeah.
What's it called? It's a C word. Oh my God. Condemn yourself.
Right.
So when you do something, you're not supposed to think evil of what you're doing. Because if you do, like the marriage, if you're trying to get married with your wife, but you don't want to do the paperwork because you think it's sin, right? Then you don't do it because you're gonna do it and you're doing it and you're thinking you're in sin. So you're defiled. So if you die, you're in sin in your brain before you die. So I'm trying to just give you the reasons why we don't feel like we're in sin. Like if I go to a store right now and it has a Buddha on it, right? And I'll buy a piece of chicken. It's not sin to eat chicken, right? Buddha's fake. So if we're going Romans 14 verse 1, if I eat the chicken, but you think I'm not supposed to eat the chicken because there's a Buddha around it, because they sacrifice it to Buddha, right? A lot of these religions sacrifice their food. They pray over their food and they sacrifice it to their gods, right? Now, I know gods are nothing. I know idols are nothing. It's just a piece of chicken.
That's right.
So if I eat the chicken in front of you that think that I'm eating an idol's food, what do I do to you? I defile your mind. So now I'm making you think that I'm a sinner. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. I'm supposed to love my neighbor as myself. If you're weak and you don't want me to eat that chicken in front of you, I'm not going to eat that chicken in front of the Buddha in front of you, because then that's going to defile you. So this going into you. If you truly believe that marrying your wife with paperwork in America, and I was trying to go do it in front of you and try to make you feel like you're not wrong, but you felt that you were wrong, I'm evil as hell, because now I'm letting you stay in that state of feeling like you're defiled. The one thing I want you to do before you leave is know that I'm telling you that there is no sin. You would not be able to go in the Bible and show me any part that's sin that if I get paperwork with my wife, that I want to prove to the world that I'm married to my wife. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with him being able to go on the internet and be like, okay, Luis, because that's my worldly name, is like married.
Partaking in the worldly custom stuff?
No, because remember I said, before when you read the Bible, we just read in Sirach, it says, get all things in writing, right? Give me Jeremiah 10 and 16. It says, we're the former of all things. So I want to show you something. Marriage certificate was created by us. You think the other nations created marriage certificate?
Bring it out.
They weren't doing that. They were just hopping on whatever concubine, whatever damn woman around. They were raping our women. You think they wrote paperwork when they raped our women? No, we were the ones that created paperwork for our marriages. Well, watch what it says.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them.
It's not like the other races, read.
For he is the former of all things.
Light bulbs, we created light bulbs. We created the bikes. We created cars. We created birth certificates. We created all that stuff because God told us in the Bible, write everything down. If you give him a loan, you were writing it down. He's supposed to pay you back. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff was between us. Now we got to go to the bank. You think the bank created loans? No, we created loans. So even though you might feel that it's a white man's covenant, it's your covenant, like judicial system.
Right.
The judicial system is based on the Jews.
That's right.
Judicial system.
Bring it
so
up.
when you go to court, you're like, damn, I got to go to jury duty. I'm not going to jury duty. That's against God. No, the Bible talks about judicial system.
Right.
They got it from us. So when you go there, you're not doing nothing that your foreparents didn't do.
Right.
Like I was trying to tell you, in Rome, Christ said, pay Caesar what you got to pay him, right? Give him what you want, it was his. Because the money had his face on it. Like some people don't want to use American bills, right? Oh man, that has a white man on it. Like I'm sovereign. They're like, I'm sovereign, I don't pay taxes. But bro, sometimes you still gotta pay with that money to do certain things. Now, if they feel like you, they'll feel confounded and they'll be like, man, I just broke a law that I thought I wasn't gonna ever spend money that had white people's face on it.
Bring it out.
Eventually, you might have to do that, but you shouldn't condemn yourself. Don't condemn yourself for getting married with your wife with $100. Because guess what? It's better than that $20,000 ring. And then when you want to cheat on her, you take it off.
Right.
But $100 to just get some paperwork so that you can be in order with God when he said put all things in writing, I'm gonna pay that $100 to the white man. Why? Because I'm doing it for God. I'm not doing it for the damn white man. He just copied our laws and made it into their government. But that's my law. I know that's my law. That's what I was telling you. It's my law to get married with my wife under paperwork. And since I don't have a building that I can go in, maybe if you get one, if you own one, and it had a marriage certificate, and you were the one to stamp it, I'll go to you. You know what I'm saying? He could do that. If that's where his spirit leads him, he's like, hey, I don't like that we got to go to white man for the marriage thing. I'm going to start my own business where I at least get to stamp the thing. Though, even though you still got to go to the white man and say, yeah, I got 150 marriage certificates, but you were the one to stamp it, I'm down. I'll go with him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to get to with showing you that. And like I said, it's not a contention in a bad way, because you're 24, you're the second oldest in the group. Even though we're, you know what I'm saying? That's my brother. Because when you argue with your big brother, your little brother, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm 35, so I'm like his big cousin. So we going back and forth. At the end of the day, we're going to dap it up. Hey, let's go get some food. Let's do this and that. What happens is, in the world, when we argue, we eventually want to shoot each other. We want to take each other's life. You're not supposed to do that. My brother had a great, sincere question, and I hope you got the answer.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time. It's